day or is it night? Time has become a concept I no longer try to hold on to. Out here in the black void of space, time bends and stretches, slipping through my fingers like the very dust of the stars. The ship hums, keeping its steady rhythm, but it's the silence, the vast emptiness, that defines this place. There's nothing to mark the hours, no change in the sky, no sun or moon to guide me, just the endless stars and the quiet hum of my ship. Today, ship, I found myself thinking about Earth. Not in the way I usually do, not in the way I think about the people I left behind or the memories I carry. Today, I thought about the satellites. The forgotten satellites. You know the ones I mean, ship. The ones that used to orbit Earth, silently passing over cities, mountains, oceans, circling the planet like they were part of its pulse. The ones that once served a purpose, delivering communication, mapping the planet's surface, taking pictures of the Earth's changing face. They were sent up there to serve us, to give us a better understanding of our world, to help us navigate the future. But now? No, most of them are just floating up there, lost in the black, forgotten. Some have drifted out of orbit, their engines long gone, their missions completed or abandoned. Others remain there, silently orbiting, waiting for the inevitable moment when their systems finally fail, when the last bit of power fades, and they fall into the atmosphere, burning up in the fiery descent toward the planet they once served. I've read the reports, ship. Some satellites are still up there, floating above Earth, their purpose long gone. Some of them have been left to wander the void, nothing more than pieces of space junk now, forgotten relics of a time when they were needed. I wonder what they think, these satellites, as they drift silently through space. Do they ever feel the emptiness? Do they remember when they were part of something bigger? Or have they simply become part of the quiet, part of the drift? I think about that a lot, ship. About being forgotten. It's a strange feeling, you know? Being out here in the cold, the silence. You start to wonder if anything really matters. You start to wonder if you'll be remembered, if your story will fade into the background, like those forgotten satellites, slowly drifting away until no one remembers you were ever there. But then again, maybe it's not about being remembered, ship. Maybe it's about the purpose. About the time when those satellites were important, when they were doing their job, when they were vital to our understanding of Earth. They served a purpose, whether anyone remembers them or not. And maybe that's enough. I think about the satellites' journeys, their orbits, how they would pass over Earth, their sensors collecting data, their cameras capturing images of the planet below. They were eyes in the sky, watching the world, recording its changes. And now, they're just silent observers, drifting through the dark, forgotten by the very people who once relied on them. I wonder if we're like that, ship. I wonder if we, too, are drifting through space, silently orbiting our own purposes, waiting for the moment when we, too, are forgotten. It's not a comforting thought, ship, but it's one I can't seem to shake. Do we have a purpose? Do we matter in the grand scheme of things? Or are we just like those satellites, circling a world that no longer needs us, waiting for the day when our systems fail and we become lost to the void? But then, I think about the other side of it. The side that says maybe it's not about the end. Maybe it's not about whether we're remembered, but about what we do while we're here. The satellites, they didn't get to choose when their mission ended, but they did their job while they could. They served their purpose, even if no one remembers them now. I think that's the lesson here, ship. Maybe it's not about the end. It's about the journey, about what we do while we're here. The satellites may be forgotten now, but they were once part of something bigger. They once helped us understand our world, helped us communicate, helped us see the Earth from a different perspective. And that's not something that can ever be erased. Their purpose, their service, will always be part of history, even if no one remembers them in the end. And maybe that's what I'm supposed to learn from them. That it's not about being remembered. It's about the time you're here, the service you give, the journey you take. Even if no one notices, even if you drift into the void, your story is still there. Your purpose still matters, even if no one sees it. The satellites may be forgotten, but their orbits still remain. They're still part of the sky, part of the Earth's movement, even if no one is watching. And maybe that's what matters, ship. To be part of something bigger, even if no one notices. To have a purpose, even if that purpose is never fully understood. I think I'll keep that in mind, ship. The forgotten satellites, the ones still drifting in orbit, are a reminder that it's not the end that matters. It's the journey. It's the purpose. It's the time we spend doing what we do, even if we're never fully seen. Until tomorrow, ship. Until the next story.